can I help you?
Here's your trash container key.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
Found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a fugue state.
I think fugue states are more your forte, officer.
Could someone on your staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Who else has keys to the trash container?
The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
Yes?
Let's talk to the gardener. A heap of snow melts in this wheelbarrow. The street sign reads, "Fuck the police." Pigs go home. The street name is illegible.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with?
You sound surprised.
We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all.
I have some questions for you.
Of course. What can I help you with?
My partner told me you may have some ammonia. Can I have some?
Sure, I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
And what is this fuck the police business?
Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning.
The street sign says, "Fuck the police."
Oh, well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here.
It's alright, I didn't mean to startle you.
Okay.
We need directions.
Since the street sign's messed up? Okay. What do you need?
Where am I?
What do you mean?
Just tell me where we are, okay?
We're in Martinez, sir. This intersection is called Roundabout North, I think.
What's up in the north?
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really.
What's in the east?
The harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too.
What's in the south?
Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably.
And what's on the other side of the canal?
Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that got closed down ages ago.
And what's in the west?
It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach.
Thanks.
No problem. Of course. I won't hold you back.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
One more thing. Can I borrow your gloves?
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all It does now. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
The ammonia didn't help at all.
Nor does the wind right now.
The weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
Why can't I keep it in if I've been a cop my whole life?
I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate. Throw up, initial autopsy. Throw up, bag it. Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough.
Well, you seem to be fine.
I think I've lost my sense of smell.
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too.
Can we do something else? I think I want to solve something else now.
That's probably a good idea. Clear our heads. But before we can do that, you need to get your shit together.
Okay.
We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now. Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
A new thought. It takes 30 minutes to complete. Volumetric shit compressor. The problem? Your shit is apart, and it's rather unbecoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that, together. Compressed in a small area. To achieve a solid level of shit compression, squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with the two hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people. Maybe that will help. I'll internalize that as well. This is the ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written in a man's dense cursive. Have a closer look. Maybe it can be salvaged to start keeping notes on the case.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Thank you, waterlogged ledger, for spelling it out for us. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
We'll inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Maybe it's kitchen tissue? They look exactly the same.
If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. It's not, though. It's toilet paper.
We'll take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper, kitchen tissue, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger, and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better.
We'll inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger across the aluminium.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned?
What? Yes, Halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for example...
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
That's all, thanks.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Let's browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What's in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
God knows I've made my share. He tries not to think of them. Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There was mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters, too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one, with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case The Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one The Man with the Hole in His Head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Let's see, I have to open an official case. Is there room in here?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Commit to paper, using the pen Lena gave you.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
We'll cross out the ones we've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the Citizens Militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Setting Sun.
Okay. It's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun. At all. It has nothing to do with that, so something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete? Mundane, usual?
Usual is boring. We don't do that.
The Furies are at home in the mirror.
Furies? Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also, could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name.
Yes. You know what that normal name is. But it's so plain. Anything else, please.
The Hanged Man.
Great, that's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Can I read the case files now?
It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together. Try again later.
Okay, what about the yellow pages?
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct fine?
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. But they appear pleasantly vague.
Station call.
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
Field autopsy.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
What about the clipboard?
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
What did you say the color was?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
Let's shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How would I open it?
With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. Is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some, then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck. The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess suddenly afraid of you for some reason.
Let's smell the ledger.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
Let's go take a look at this under the vehicle headlights.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery, bearing the number 57. Vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. The Caprice Kinema motor carriage. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
What about those steering levers?
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm.
The toolbox?
A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work.
Let's take the pry bar.
The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think. Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids.
The chain cutters?
The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand.
And the hand-cranked flashlight.
It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Police issue, blue. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook.
Let's use that radio.
The frequency tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Come in, Delta 10. This is Firewalker, copy.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I need you to connect me to a civilian, a Sylvie. She may have reported a murder.
Of course. What is the number, officer?
Kim, didn't Gart give you Sylvie's number?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot. Quite a lot of time has passed.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello?
Hello, this is the police calling. I have some questions for you about your last days at work.
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again.
Was it you who called the police?
No, not me.
But why didn't you call? Didn't the corpse behind your workplace bother you?
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the corpse.
What does the union have to do with anything?
No one calls the police. The union would get angry.
What do you mean by that?
You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Garbage.
Wait, Kim. Is she speaking truth? The union is the law around here?
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the dock workers' union.
Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation.
Looks like there is a limit to my authority, then.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, why exactly did you let a corpse hang in your own backyard for weeks instead of calling us?
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
What others?
The other people who live around here. Local people. I didn't want trouble.
Her voice is resigned and weak.
What trouble?
You don't live here. You don't understand. Squealing is frowned upon here. Everything is dealt with, well, by the union, internally. Please, I just didn't want any trouble.
I see. Don't worry about it. I understand.
You do? Oh. What else can I do for you?
Do you know who made that call?
No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the union's phone, or the one on the coast.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Okay, next
Yeah,
question.
go on.
Do you know why my paperwork ended up in the trash container behind the whirling?
Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
You quit your job at the whirling. Why?
You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Alright, I won't push you on this. Are you ever coming back to work?
Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now.
I think I got everything I need. Thanks.
I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Let's do this empathy check. Wait, why does she seem angry with me?
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the whirling in rags, when she was still working there.
Wait, before you go, you're mad at me, right? Tell me, what did I do? I can't remember anything.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. It just made me want to quit.
What skua thing?
The stuffed bird. The great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there.
That doesn't sound anything like me. I love birds.
Yes, well,
Rubbish. You're a green hat and feather-toting bird watcher.
Actually, I think I might be a birdie. A bird-watching enthusiast, you know?
that's wonderful, really. Maybe you should keep pursuing that hobby. Maybe it would calm you down a little.
So you're telling me that I was the one who made you want to quit?
Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes in this place. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you,
Go on. I want to know what I did.
well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now.
Hold on. Which song?
We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody.
Right. Was that all?
Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about how you're actually a real cool guy, and no one understands it. One of the coolest guys there is. The coolest guy in Jamrock. Something about disco, too.
Sounds intense.
And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself.
Okay, I get it. I wasn't a very good tenant.
No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst.
I was trying to show you the world of tomorrow. The great panic at the end.
God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened.
What else did I sing besides the O.O.? I'm looking for a song.
Oh, all sorts of things. From disco, rock too. So much disco and rock.
Maybe you can help me identify this one particular song.
Which one would that be?
One that was really sad.
Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in San Sans. Butchered that right up.
Interesting. You still have to find it, however.
But when I spoke to Gart, it seemed like he thought you left because of him.
Wait, really? No, this is absolutely not true. I like Guard. I really do.
Didn't he cross a line when he asked you out?
No, I was actually flattered. I've always liked him. It was just bad timing. With the corpse and all that.
There's a pause. You can almost see her on the other side. The telephone cord coiled around her index.
I didn't know what to say to him later. Then you came and destroyed the place. So I left without explaining. I should have told him, maybe.
I can tell him.
Okay, but please don't mess it up. Please don't take out your gun or something.
Right. Thank you for talking with me. Take care.
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Wordless, the call breaks. Then, the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Could you connect me to the 41st? I have something I need to report.
Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The radio switchboard. The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
10-4, Station 41. I've got urgent business, over.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over.
Just reporting in, over.
10-18, state your message, sir.
I need to report my badge missing.
But you said... never mind.
10-9, over.
My badge. I can't find it anywhere. Basically, it's gone.
10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
Haha, officer lost his badge. Like I'm the first cop to ever misplace this badge.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Oh goddamn it! Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this.
Satellite Officer Vikmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation of the entire station. Over.
Mullen dicked us.
Can we just move on? I want to get this reported and be done with it.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now?
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
Could you all please just stop saying lost his badge for a moment?
He asks you to please stop saying he lost his badge.
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Person was wondering if you found your badge yet. Over.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it.
Enough with this now. I have other things I need to discuss.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun too.
Sergeant Person wants to know if you lost your gun too. Over.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you?
I don't have my gun.
No. It's gone. It's not fucking on you.
Don't sweat it, Bratan! You don't need a gun to have fun! We can still have fun! It's not all over!
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
We'll convince them that we didn't lose the gun.
Lying? Over the phone? It's easy. Just say it like it's the truth. And then it becomes it.
No, of course I didn't lose my gun.
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine the poor prick who has to relay that kind of news to the captain. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it, and fast. We can't have some gangbanger running around with it.
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance. Over.
I'm in dire need of financial assistance.
10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority to grant your request, but...
What does he want now?
He's asking for money.
Is he fucking kidding?
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
Alright, that's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over.
It is paramount to the investigation that you grant me more money.
He says it's important to the case.
He isn't getting a red cent. You can tell him that.
Request denied, sir. Over.
Okay, I heard you. No funds.
Anything else, sir? Over.
This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss.
Okay, 10-4, sir. I hear you. Relay your question. Over.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through.
What's there to think about?
You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be smart about this. Ask if he's there alone.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question.
Hold on, are you alone in the room? I need some confidential information about myself.
That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12 visitors present here. Over.
I wanted to know if you got my badge's description right in your report. Could you read it to me? Name, rank, date of birth?
What? What is it? He's still on the line?
He wants to verify the information on his badge.
But of course, it says Dick Mullen, High General of the Revacholian Cavalry Force.
Tell him to stop wasting time.
What do you need, sir? Over.
Please refer to me with my full name in the future.
10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Over.
Say my name.
Sir, I will not have you talk to me in this manner. Over.
Please just say my name, Jules.
What? What is it? What can he possibly still want from us?
He seems intoxicated and keeps asking me to call him by his name.
Mullen's drunk and emotionally aggressive. That's new.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Understood, sir. Over.
10-10. Over.
Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered around Communication Officer Jules Oldboy Pidier, around a dozen cops. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minot enters. Her left arm is in bandages, and her hair trimmed short.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
What happened is my partner made contact, and it's not good. He's lost his badge. He seemed confused, delirious even.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner, Chester McLean, near the entrance.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, alright. Sounded fucking drunk to me.
Yeah, Mac's right. This was some gnarly shit there. I mean, before he started begging for money, it was...
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is. He's a cop. He's one of us, goddamn this.
We must help him.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on carrot juice? He's a lost man.
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words. This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain. Or anyone else. We'll give him a couple of days to pull his shit together.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our laughs. Now get back to work.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit-togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts. Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
Mechanically, some kind of superstar gives -1 to logic, but raises the learning caps on a variety of other skills, which means I can put points into them as I level up, and I can do more than I otherwise would have. Volumetric shit compressor has unlocked endurance white checks, which means I can retry the body in the tree, and the learning cap for endurance was raised to 4.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is, Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Where are we on this?
Let me see. Right here.
I'm sure I've seen worse.
Oh yes. Coal City, Le Royaume, the burnt-out quarter.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Let's tally up the rows of perforations.
The first row has 18 dots.
Not bad.
Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet. The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some. You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't, the last row has 3 perforations. That's it.
Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Wait, 18 years I've done this?
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
Get drunk like a megastar?
Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. But let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see... Wow, more than 200.
216 to be exact.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
See, Kim, I told you I was a superstar cop.
Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
That's not too many.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Okay, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Let's see if we can game the body inspection a bit with some of our skill points.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dead. Ha ha ha! Again, the corpse laughs at you, pus dripping from its mouth. You will never be able to hold it in. It's always too much. Every time it happens, it gets worse and worse. There's nothing more to throw up now. All that's left is crying and convulsing dryly at the same time.
Even though I got my shit compressed, how is it possible?
I'm at a loss as well. I could swear your shit was together, detective.
Sometimes even that is not enough. Life is unfair.
What do I do now?
Officer, you just need to be stronger. Learn to keep it in long enough for us to work. There's nothing else to do.
Relax. It's okay if you don't make it today. The bloated corpse isn't going anywhere. There he still is, looking right. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendons.
Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
What about the boots?
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots, are they? They're armor.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Oh, the lieutenant uses a mnemotechnique A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic.
Forget about the notebook. Tell me about the armor.
It's clearly some manner of super armor. Or future armor. Super future armor. I'm useless.
What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
What happened to the rest of it?
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
Old Kuno, huh? Understood.
The Sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form. Ageless and synthetic.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
Wait, my yearly pay is 5,500 real?
Not too much, yes.
Sounds puny. No wonder I can't pay my hostel bill.
It's a sorry situation, I agree.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
These look pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What does this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice the whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100, 1000.
Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
X5415 6745 678222. Let's lie.
Let's not.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Let's pull the boot off.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
Better not even try then.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic. The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
What about the belt?
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently this is the reinforced kind, for air transport. My brain tells me so.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Did they climb up using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
We're assuming the dock workers from the harbor did it.
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
No, they must have forgotten to brief me.
Then you should ask me the first moment we get.
They sure wanted him to stay up there. That's steel-reinforced rope.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
What about the tattoos?
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. His corpse is marked by stars.
What will mine be marked by?
Alcohol and heartbreak.
Is this a national pattern?
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
We're missing something here.
I agree.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
He produces two metal-capped ampules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting, then...
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
Lieutenant shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
Let's look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Tell me, who are you, dead man?
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Who is he? He is male, 40-50, with an athletic build.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark.
Let's squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration? Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. Thighs too.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago.
That sounds about right, yes.
I also think he was upright after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Could it still be he was moved after death?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Something's coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
We got lucky.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
He's beaten up too. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Let's pump up Inland Empire one more time here. Or for the first time, I should say.
The man before you is naked. His eyes are milky white. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed.
Let's try
what
this
remains is an I'm gone.
Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where is that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
I can't get the damn compartment in my ledger open.
The Blue Heart. Oh, that's good shit. You'll love it. Just press down and fuck it open like you always do. Fuck it hard. Copopo the clown.
I can see you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
You are now, but who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Copo.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your imagination.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
He loves those.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, copperoonie Rooney. This is getting upbeat now.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Yeah, Rooney is obviously not who I am.
Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Could I really be Harry?
You can be anything you want, brother Coppo.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Who killed you?
Love did me in, brother Coppo. It was love all along.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
What?
Looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Maybe this will lead to something. Something indescribable. Unforeseen. Miraculous? I hate you. You stink and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
A baby affected with harlequinism.
You sure wriggled out of that one, Coppellini.
Enough.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Yeah, the preliminary examination is done. Let's get him down from there.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Maybe we could shoot him down?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
There, the buckle holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could happen?
I'll blow his head off.
Take it! Take the shot!
Yeah, take the shot. Kuno wants some of that shit.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's test position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Easy does it, partner.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The chip's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
He feels bad about it. About his eyes mostly. Just having bad eyesight. Probably from a young age. Whatever you do not console him.
Fucking idiot! Mookabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
What now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
Can I have the gun? I should try.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
They only have one gun!
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banani boyka! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
Let's point the gun at the belt.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the noon light as the corpse slowly rotates. The slow movement of the branch in the wind and your shoulders directing the gun sync up, dancing hypnotically.
Look, he's crying! You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Who killed you?
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
You've been policed.
Aces high.
The lieutenant raises his right hand, waiting for you to slap it.
The ace is high, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Revachol, especially in sports. The gesture is spread across the world, despite the defeat of the revolutionaries themselves. The lieutenant takes a little hop to perform the customary salutation. Your palm hurts from the slap. It's precise and down to the point.
I knew these guys were
What now?
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me. It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy.
Wait, field autopsy?
Yes. The 4 phases of a murder scene. 1. Investigation of the scene. I'm satisfied with that part. The trash container, the prints, we've been thorough enough. 2. Initial examination of the victim. We were exhaustive in our efforts there. Good job. 3. Field autopsy. This will not be pleasant or easy, and it will have to be performed on the scene.
The fuck are they on about?
Cops are gonna cut his shit up next.
4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. I'll do that. God, it stinks.
Don't we have somebody else for the autopsy, like a doctor?
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From crime scene to autopsy to cleanup, we do it all.
Honorary rank.
An honor and a burden attached to your rank. Mine is Lieutenant Detective, unfortunately. I can't tell you how tired I am of this corpse.
I don't think I'm a detective.
With shooting like that? Of course you are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case otherwise.
All right.
In the meantime, we should try to interview Evrard Clare, the leader of the Union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge, though. Or we could ask around for the representative of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to wrangle control back from Evrard.
You could ask the gardener for directions.
Is this the famous list of initial interviews?
Yes. And those were the interviewees. Let's go.
Okay, I think we'll leave off there and perform the field autopsy and some interviews next time.